Hi, Dana. How are you?
Hi, Vincent.
Okay.
Welcome from Brussels.
Thank you very much. So, okay, you have your presentation. Yes, it's perfect. You
Great.
have 9 minutes. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here with you today and to share some of our work, of the European work with regards to intelligent cities. Before, however, I explain to you what the Intelligent Cities Challenge is about that we are heading, I would very much like to say a few words on the worst of the times crisis, the COVID-19 crisis, and the response that the European Commission has given in this crisis. If I can have the next slide, please. Indeed, and then the next again. Indeed, the European Commission started from very early, from March practically, refocusing the whole efforts of the whole institution into this big challenge in front of us, the COVID-19, and of course working together with the member states on possible recovery, so possible responses. These responses came with numerous different measures along 4 strands. The health and emergency, first of all, to start with, then the economic response strand, then another strand on research and funding, especially for vaccinations, and the 4th element was a coordinated exit plan among the member states. If I can have the next slide, please. As I said, there were numerous measures, so it is not, we do not have the time to work on all of this right now, but I would like to stay and share with you something that I believe it is of high relevance to the cities as well. And this is part of the economic response. And in particular, you see again here different measures that have been taken, but the most important is the recovery plan for Europe. So I refer to this agreement of 750 billion euro for the next generation EU. So practically that's the European Recovery Fund that will be shared and split to the member states according to their needs and according to how badly they have been hit by the COVID-19 crisis. This is the agreement of the European Summit of the 21st of July. And then this is topped up by about 1.1 trillion long-term EU budget. So this is the multi-annual framework program that decides where budget and what sort of activities will be funded between 2021 and 2027. That is where we are right now. Those important budgets will complete other measures, for example, the measures by the European Central Bank that already support a lot the economy, the SURE program, the 100 billion program to support employment that were given from the beginning of the crisis. Practically today, I would like to give you a heads up message, because the situation right now is that we have the European Commission has invited the member states to reflect on the national and submit the national recovery plans. At the same time, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, the European Commission will adopt the so-called Recovery and Resilience Facility, which will be a set of guidelines to the member states on how this 750 billion for recovery should be wisely spent, let's say, by the member states. So those will be guidelines, but the main plans are coming from the member states. Already, to my knowledge, France came with a national recovery plan of 100 billion. Italy last week also came with a 200 billion national recovery plan. All this will be subject to discussions, negotiations in the coming months. The reasons that, can I have the next slide, please? The reasons I mentioned that today, practically I have already explained that. So if I can have the next slide, please. The reasons I refer to this right now is I believe strongly that cities can play a very important role in influencing and in also taking share of these national recovery plans. I will come back to that in a moment, but from the Commission point of view, the message we very boldly pass is that, yes, recovery that is badly needed by our economy, but no matter what recovery. So we are speaking about green and digital recovery that will be in line with the major priorities of the new European Commission, notably the European Green Deal that was adopted in December 19, and that defines, let's say, the major policy lines of this Commission. So the recovery should be green, should be energy efficient, should be good for the environment and for our planet as well, but also digital recovery. Now, having said this, COVID-19 and all this massive teleworking wave that we have seen, all these online schools that we have seen, those are music to the ears of the experts that are working on digital transformation for years. So indeed, we have witnessed a huge wave of digital transformation, but this should continue and should be consolidated and should go in the right direction together with the green recovery. And of course, we should not forget the social resilience. So a lot of our people are already hit by the crisis. A lot of people lost their jobs and we lose more sectors like airlines, like automotive, like tourism, of course, and travel have been badly hit. And we have, as a collective society, to take care of these sectors and people that are hit by the crisis and prepare their future. If I can have the next slide, please. Yeah, as I said before, the cities can play a very important role in these recovery plans. Cities, as you know, represent about 75% of the population in the European Union. Cities is where 80% of global GDP is being produced, but also about 70% of global CO2 emissions are produced. According to the latest research, 65% of the Sustainable Development Goals are implemented in cities. So, in other words, cities can and should play a very important role in this recovery. They should have a say in how these recovery plans are being designed. They are the closer to their citizens, they are the closer linked to their societies, to their businesses, to their industry, and together with the stakeholders, they can prepare a win-win situation. They can reimagine, rethink their future after COVID. In this spirit, if I can have the next slide, please. We have launched the so-called Intelligent Cities Challenge as part of, I would say, a range of city-related initiatives that we are supporting in the European Commission. So this is a small part of that. The Intelligent Cities Challenge, it is a European initiative that helps about 126 smaller European cities, so not the capital cities, to leverage cutting-edge technologies in order to lead a green and digital transition and to secure a social resilience after COVID. Of course, we refer specifically to technologies because technologies can help provide solutions to many of the challenges we are currently facing. But of course, it is not a means, an end to itself. It is only a means to help cities arrive to a better place to live for their citizens. If I can have the next slide, please. The objectives and the goals of the Intelligent Cities Challenge that was launched actually with a call for expression of interest for European cities to join in February 2020, in the middle of the COVID crisis. The objectives are to help cities to provide, first of all, strategic advice and tailor-made advice to one-to-one advice to each one of the cities that are participating, and help them foster, first of all, a very vibrant public-private ecosystem within the city. we do not believe that public authorities alone can achieve the big changes that the society needs in the coming years. But if you join the public local authorities with private institutions, with business, industry, educational and training institutions, fab labs, incubators, and so on and so forth. So you really understand and assess your local ecosystem and make that work in tandem. This is the only way that cities can achieve the big changes that are needed right now. We are ambitious one to believe that we can help cities in that respect. So build their ecosystem, get to know their ecosystem. Then, of course, identify what the local strengths are and how to shape an ambitious vision together with these stakeholders, the local stakeholders. The other objective is to see specifically how to leverage cutting-edge technologies to help the city ecosystem, the local ecosystem, accelerate this transition. And last but not least, we help cities learn from each other. We have also a list of mentors, so-called mentor cities. Those are cities that are more advanced in this process and can speak and share good examples with the others so that we can boost the learning and exchange of good practices and, of course, long-lasting collaborations between cities' ecosystems. In the next slide, if I can share with you some figures. So we
very quickly, because we are at the end of the session. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yes. We have selected the 126 cities and we are ready to start. If I can have the next slide, please. I would like to single out two priorities. First of all, those are the thematic priorities that we plan to focus while we are working one-to-one with each one of the cities, namely the green economy and local green deals, upskilling and reskilling, how to enhance citizens' participation in the digitization of public administration, how to re-handle the local supply chains and logistics, and as a last priority, the smart and sustainable tourism. This is according to the wishes and the interest of the cities involved. Information I would like to share with all of you is that we kickstart that with a big conference, the so-called first ICC Intelligent Cities Challenge City Lab, that will take place the week of the 28th of September until the 2nd of October. It will be a digital conference, and the first day, so the 28th of September, is open to everybody, to all cities that have an interest to participate. So happy to share the link and see you also in this big day with very inspirational speakers from around the world, actually. Vincent, I don't want to abuse of your time. Do you believe I have 2 more minutes to elaborate on 2 ideas I would like, or I stop here?
No, we will do it next time. We have a conference in 1 month.